Hey, it's Kim. And according to Britney Spears, Lynne Spears, her mother, assaulted her. So I feel like in a weird way we're picking up where we left off a couple of weeks ago, where we talked about Britney asking for a genuine apology from her mother and her family after everything that she's been through. And then her mom saying, I apologize for anything and everything that's hurt you. I called it out that that wasn't an apology because it's not taking ownership of anything that she did. And Britney apparently felt the same way because she posted a response to her mother's apology. Not one mother effing person stood up for me. Mom, take your apology and go F yourself. And to all the doctors for effing with my mind, I pray you all burn in the bad place. Kiss my mother effing butt. I agree. She right. So then we go into this week, and with a lot of Britney news this week, I do just want to point out that there have been a number of legal documents filed, a lot to do with black box security, and there's a lot of controversy with that going back and forth. But for now, I think what's important to know is that there are documents that are in existence that the court is fighting over, basically, of who needs to produce them. And these are the documents that likely will, in my opinion, quite possibly will prove or not prove that Britney was under surveillance. And if that is the case, my understanding is that is illegal and it'll influence how things move forward. I don't know how this is all going to go, but we'll see. But separate from that, Britney made an Instagram post where she disclosed that the night that she went out with Paris and Lindsay, back I think in 2007, that when she got home and her mom had been babysitting her kids, that Lynne slapped her across the face. So this is a section of what she wrote in the Instagram post about the incident, where she said, my mother was watching Jaden and Preston. Yes, I partied till like 4 a.m. and my mother was pissed. I walked in, she looked at me and hit me so hard, I will never forget it. And as much as I hate to bring her into this, there's something about this situation that I immediately thought about Jamie Lynn. Jamie Lynn alleged in her book that her mom actually attacked her with a large beaded purse that had a camera inside. So the quote in the book is, we would lash out at each other. It all came to a head one day when my mom was emotionally strained and she snapped. She started hitting me with a large beaded purse that had a camera inside. She repeatedly swung the bag and landed several blows on my shoulders before she stopped. Like, as soon as I saw Britney say the thing about the slap, I'm like, okay, so now both of her daughters have alleged that their mother was abusive towards them. And I don't understand how Lynne thought that that was the appropriate reaction. It's never okay to hit somebody, ever. Really. Like, no, I understand defensively, but like, don't hit people. It's not that hard. Just keep your hands to yourself. I don't know why this is so difficult, but it seems like this is a pattern. And a part of me highly doubts that this is the only isolated time that this happened. And I think now that both Britney and Jamie Lynn have said something, we probably will hear more as time goes on. And heaven knows what Britney will allege in her book about Lynn. I kind of feel like this is the beginning of karma for Lynn, and it's about time. So that is kind of the bread and butter of the Britney news right now. I did have a few things I wanted to say separate from Britney news. So again, like if this isn't what you're here for, I totally get it. You can go. No offense is taken. I'm sure as if any of you have seen any of my other videos, you can tell that I sound a bit different. And if any of you guys saw a message I put on Twitter on Saturday morning, or was it Friday morning? I think it was Friday. Everything's a blur. Pretty sure it was Friday that I wasn't well. As I'm sure you can hear it, I'm still not well. And I do want to thank everybody for your support and your prayers, because it was pretty scary that day, and we were looking at potentially me having to go into hospital. I don't believe at this time that I have the Rona, so that's not the issue. my voice is raw because I have been um I never know how to say this in a way that isn't like totally gross, but I've been throwing up a lot. And that unfortunately is a side effect sometimes of my CPTSD. My body gets stuck in a cycle where I can't stop. And I have a few methods that I use to make it stop, but sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And it's a reaction of my central nervous system. So it's complicated and frustrating, and it causes a lot of damage. And it's kind of been one of those things I've gotten a lot better at dealing with. I used to deal with this a lot more often. Now it's more of a rarity, but when it does rear its head, it's really, really bad. And I have to be very careful. And when I tweeted out, I had tried a number of the methods that I've used before that had helped, and they were not working. So, what happens if it gets really, really bad? And thankfully, I've never been at this stage. We've been able to get it to stop. Um, is you have to go to hospital for fluids, first of all. And then the second is that there are apparently drugs that they give you in chemotherapy that disable your stomach from being able to um, reject anything within it. But those drugs are pretty serious, and it's not something that I want to do unless I absolutely have to. So thankfully, we were able to get it under control basically at the 11th hour, and I was able to rest. So I'm happy to tell you now that I have been able to eat, I've been able to sleep, I've been able to drink. I have my one of my favorite things here, my recovery mocktail. Um, we call it a sunrise. It's literally like ginger ale, orange juice, and a teeny bit of grenadine. It's super good, and it's really helping with everything. And I got my right meds. I'm doing everything I should do. But I think I'm hopeful that I'm going to be feeling much better tomorrow. But if I'm a little raw this week or have lower energy, that's what's going on. My body's healing, and I'm going to be okay, but it just does a number on me. So that that's what was wrong. I'm going to be okay. So thank you so much for your love and your support. It means a lot to me. Um, I also wanted to say something about my friend Lewis over at Nerd Report. And for those of you that don't know, Lewis is a friend that I've made through Popcorn Planet. He has his own channel, Nerd Report, and he is a DJ, and he is a movie reviewer, and he is an interviewer. He is a very talented person. And his channel, in my opinion, was wrongfully striked last week. And it was because he showed a video on his YouTube channel of children being scared by daycare workers, I believe. And it was a video that was disturbing from what I've heard about it. I've chosen not to watch it because I find that type of stuff really upsetting. But the thing was, Lewis talked about it and showed a bit of it, but so did a lot of other YouTubers, like a lot of other YouTubers, and their stuff is still up. And the original video that Lewis shared is still up, but Lewis got flagged and Lewis got a strike on his account. Now, for those of you that don't know, the strike on your account is very serious. Um, and it is a punishment. It is a punishment from YouTube. And the thing is, I don't know, I still to this, I don't understand what Lewis did to merit a strike. And I don't think in Lewis's case that it's political or a case of misinformation or opinion or anything like that. I don't understand it, and I'm not okay with it, and it really upsets me. And this is kind of a thing that I've seen a bit over the last couple of weeks that I feel like it's not even just in my circle of people that I know and my friends and my colleagues essentially um, through YouTube, but it's also like YouTubers that I've followed for years. One of my favorite YouTubers put out a video, I think last week, and during the premiere of the video, it got age gated, meaning that people reported it for inappropriate content that was not okay for people under the age of 18. And as much as this YouTuber, definitely has some off-color jokes from time to time and is they're awesome. They're awesome. I don't want to bring her into this because we don't know each other personally, and I don't want to, um, you know, call her out or anything like that or drag her into anything. But it was very frustrating to see that happen to her because she's a pretty big channel and she didn't really deserve that. And I can tell you she's had other videos that I would have considered to be age gated before this one. So I was very frustrated to see that because it meant that immediately her monetization was off. And those first 24 hours that she put up that video that she put blood, sweat, and tears into, just it was completely screwed over. And she didn't deserve that. And that to me, I mean, that was, she's a gaming channel and it had nothing to do with politics or opinion or anything like that. And I do not understand why she was targeted that way. So it's like I'm seeing it through like LawTube and I'm seeing it in my circle and then I'm seeing it in circles that I'm not even in at all and that I have like no communication with these people. And it's just kind of making me wonder what the heck is going on with YouTube. So I guess what I want to say to you guys is not just for me, but for any of the other YouTubers that you follow, that you care about, double check that you have multiple ways of being able to keep up with them. In the sense of like, do you have them on Instagram or do you have them on Twitter or do you have them on locals or do you have them on Facebook or do you have them? A lot of people are going on Rumble now. Just all these different places so that if something happens, they can communicate with you and let you know that there's something wrong. And then maybe you're in a position that you might be able to help them. Also, just so you know what's going on, so that you know when your favorite content creators are going to be able to give you content again. You know, myself, I have Instagram as well as Twitter, and I update those fairly frequently. I'm debating on actually going over to TikTok, just to have another video source of some kind because it's just getting, this whole thing is so frustrating. It makes you feel very uneasy and very unsafe as a creator that you're putting so much work into something and then at any moment for no good reason you can lose everything. And that's just not right. And it makes me really sad. Because this is a platform that I've really wanted to be a part of for a long time and to add to and to be a part of. But I'm seeing a lot of what I would consider to be bad calls being made. And I really genuinely hope it gets better. As much as I know the big boys in YouTube now are the big corporations, I understand that. There's no getting around that. But the foundation of YouTube was about creator-based content. It was about the small creator making content and being able to create their own art without having a studio backing them. And I think that that's a very special thing about YouTube, and it hurts to see the people that do that get hurt. And it's disappointing. So I did just want to extend my love and my support to Lewis. And just got your back, man. And I'm so sorry this happened to you. And I know like we've talked about it and we've been on Twitter and everything. It's just not okay. And yeah, I just hope things get better because it is really scary. But I'll keep you guys posted. Yeah, so that's the video. I'm sorry it's not my happy self. I apologize for that. But I think we will see how things go over the next week. And hopefully I'll be able to put out something else for you guys this week that's a bit more like myself. So, but I wanted to give you something. So anyway, that's it. Much love.